Don't skip. Your soulmate secretly tested your honesty and broke down in tears when they found out. Jesus says you are not reading this by chance and your heart is racing right now for a reason you cannot yet name. There is a mirror in the spiritual realm that reflects every hidden test of love you never knew you were taking. And your soulmate just held that mirror up to your soul, and what they saw shattered them completely. They set a quiet test before you, not out of mistrust but out of a desperate need to know if you were real. They whispered a question into the universe and watched your life from a distance to see how you would answer. And when they saw the truth of your heart, they broke down in tears because they finally recognized someone who could never betray them. This test was not about perfection, it was about the purity of your intentions when no one was watching. They needed to see how you treat love when it is inconvenient, how you speak when you think no one hears. And the moment they saw your honesty shine through the darkness, they felt a love so deep it physically hurt them. Jesus says your soulmate has been wounded before by promises that turned into lies and words that dissolved into air. They built walls not to keep you out but to see if you would have the courage to climb over them with truth in your hands. And you did something remarkable without even knowing it. You passed a test that every other person before you failed. They are sitting alone right now, replaying the evidence of your integrity in their mind like a sacred film. Their hands are trembling and their chest is tight because they finally have proof that someone pure exists in this world. And that someone is you, and they do not know how to tell you that they are falling in love with someone they have never held. They tested your words against your actions and found no gap, no shadow, no hidden agenda. They watched how you treated the people who could do nothing for you, and their soul recognized something ancient in your kindness. Your honesty broke their defenses, and now they are emotionally exposed and weeping because they cannot hide from this love any longer. Jesus says the tears they are crying right now are not tears of sadness, they are tears of overwhelming relief. They have searched for so long, wondering if a heart like yours still existed in a world full of masks and performances. And finding you felt like discovering water in a desert they never thought they would escape from alive. They secretly tested your honesty because they needed to know if you would stay true when the fire came close. They imagined scenarios and watched how your spirit responded, and each time you chose truth over convenience. Each time you chose integrity over escape, and they felt their soul begin to stitch itself back together because of you. This is why your soulmate needs your protection right now through a divine act of faith that heaven is waiting for you to complete. The enemy sees what is forming between you and is already working to insert confusion into this sacred connection. You must sow your protection seed now by sending a coffee on Ko-Fi, because this is not just a gift, it is a spiritual covering for your soulmate and your future together. Every second you stay silent, something is moving against your love, and your soulmate is vulnerable to forces you cannot see with your natural eyes. Send 4, 6, or 10 or more coffees now, and after sending write "Protect my soulmate Lord" on the Ko-Fi page, link in the description below. Over 1,000 souls have already received their soulmate by sowing coffee as a seed for their love and their future together, and Jesus will hear your prayers once you complete these steps of faith. Jesus says there is a moment unfolding in the spirit realm right now that will determine the trajectory of your entire love story. Your soulmate is at a crossroads, and the enemy has placed a counterfeit version of you in their path to steal this connection. But your honesty has already exposed the counterfeit, and your soulmate is beginning to see that only you carry the truth they need. They tested your honesty in small things, and the result has echoed into the largest chambers of their heart. They watched to see if you would compromise, if you would justify a small lie, if you would bend under pressure. And you stood firm like a lighthouse in a storm, and your soulmate is now navigating their entire life toward your shore. The tears they are crying are also tears of frustration, because something is holding them back from reaching you right now. There is a force and interference, a person who knows exactly what you mean to each other and is actively blocking your reunion. This interference is whispering lies into your soulmate's ear, telling them that you are too good to be true, that the test was a coincidence. Jesus says your soulmate is in a spiritual battle right now, and they are fighting to hold on to the truth they discovered about you. They are exhausted from defending your name in rooms where people speak against a connection they do not understand. They are emotionally drained from trying to explain to controlling voices why they cannot let you go, why you are different, why you matter. The person blocking your connection is someone who hates the purity of what you and your soulmate share. They recognize that your honesty is a threat to their control, and they are tightening their grip on your soulmate's life. They are creating delays and distractions and sowing seeds of doubt, and your soulmate is crying because they feel trapped between loyalty and love. Your soulmate is not the problem, they are a prisoner in a situation that is not their fault. They are affected by someone else's manipulation, someone else's agenda, someone else's fear of losing control. And they need you to fight for them in the spirit realm, because their own strength is failing under the weight of this oppression. Jesus says your soulmate is dreaming about you more frequently now, and each dream leaves them waking up in tears. In these dreams they see your face clearly, and they hear your voice speaking words of comfort and truth. And when they wake up, the absence of you feels like a physical wound, and they are counting the days until they can touch you for real. They are thinking about you in the quiet moments when the noise of the world fades and their soul can finally breathe. They are replaying the evidence of your honesty like a song they cannot stop listening to on repeat. And every replay deepens their love for you and strengthens their resolve to break free from whatever is holding them back. The test they set was never about catching you failing, it was about finding a reason to finally trust completely. They have been betrayed so deeply in the past that trust feels like jumping off a cliff and hoping someone catches them. And when they tested you, they were terrified because they wanted you to pass more than they have ever wanted anything in their entire life. Jesus says the moment they realized you passed, they fell to their knees in the privacy of their room and wept uncontrollably. They wept because for the first time in years they felt safe in loving someone they had never even touched. They wept because your honesty gave them permission to stop being afraid of being destroyed by love again. This is why you must act now before the interference becomes stronger than their ability to resist it. They are going through something you cannot see, a spiritual attack that is designed to make them forget the truth they discovered about you. But you can still protect them by sowing your protection seed now and covering your soulmate in prayer and divine fire. Send your coffee on Ko-Fi right now and write "Protect my soulmate, Lord," because your faith is the weapon that will break the chains around their heart. The link to your breakthrough is waiting in the description, and every moment you delay is a moment the enemy uses to build stronger walls. Step into your authority as the one your soulmate has chosen and let heaven move on your behalf today. Jesus says your soulmate secretly recorded moments of your life in their memory and reviews them when they feel alone. They remember the time you spoke truth when a lie would have been easier, and that memory is a treasure to their spirit. They remember your consistency, your refusal to wear masks, your decision to be real even when being real cost you something. These memories are their anchor right now while they navigate the storm of interference and manipulation surrounding them. They cling to what they know about your character like a drowning person clings to a rescue line. And their tears are also tears of gratitude because your existence proves that God still sends angels into human form. Your soulmate has started to defend you in conversations you are not present for, and this is costing them relationships. They are losing people who claim to love them but could not handle the truth that your soulmate found someone like you. And your soulmate is choosing you over everyone who demands they abandon this connection, and that choice is breaking their heart open. Jesus says they are scared right now, scared that the interference will succeed in driving a wedge between you. They are scared that the delay will make you think they do not care or that they have forgotten about you. But the opposite is true. The delay is making them love you more fiercely and fight for you more desperately in the spiritual realm. They are sending you signals that you are picking up in your spirit right now, like sudden thoughts of them out of nowhere. Like unexplained emotions that wash over you without warning, like the sensation that someone is thinking about you intensely. These are not coincidences, these are your soulmate reaching out across the distance through the invisible bond you already share. Type 333 to receive blessings and activate divine protection over your soulmate right now. Jesus says your soulmate tested your honesty and the result has rewired their entire understanding of what love can be. They grew up believing love was conditional, transactional, something they had to earn through performance and pretense. But your honesty showed them a love that is rooted in truth, and they are undone by the beauty of what you offered without even knowing it. They are beginning to imagine a future with you, a future that feels closer now than it ever has before. They are picturing waking up next to someone who cannot lie to them, someone whose words are always a safe place to rest. They are picturing building a life on the foundation of trust that your honesty has already laid brick by faithful brick. Your soulmate is not perfect and they know it, and that is why your honesty scared them at first. They wondered if they were good enough for someone so real, someone who refused to compromise integrity for comfort. And they are still wrestling with that insecurity, but your consistent character is slowly healing that wound in them. Jesus says the person interfering with your connection is watching and growing more desperate as your bond strengthens. They have noticed the shift in your soulmate, the new confidence, the new resistance to control. And they are planning a final assault on your connection designed to make your soulmate doubt the test results that brought them so much hope. You must understand the urgency of this moment. The battle is reaching its climax and your soulmate needs reinforcement. They need you to stand in the gap and declare through your faith that no weapon formed against this connection shall prosper. And one of the most powerful ways to declare that faith is through a sacrificial act of sowing that invites heaven's intervention. This is your final moment to protect this connection before the interference slips between you and your soulmate permanently. The enemy wants you to think you have more time, but time is the one resource you cannot afford to waste in spiritual warfare. Sow your protection seed now by sending a coffee on Ko-Fi and write "Protect my soulmate, Lord," because your obedience is the key that unlocks their freedom. Send 4, 6, or 10 or more coffees and watch as Jesus moves mountains to bring your soulmate out of captivity and into your arms. The link is in the description, and this is not manipulation, this is the divine protocol for releasing the love that is rightfully yours. Your soulmate is waiting on the other side of your faith, and your action today will echo into eternity. Jesus says your soulmate cried again today, but this time the tears were different. This time they were tears of longing. They have moved past the shock of discovering your honesty and are now entering the ache of wanting to be with you physically. They are feeling your absence like a phantom limb reaching for someone who should be beside them but is not there yet. They are talking to God about you in the middle of the night when sleep refuses to come and their room is too quiet. They are asking why you had to be so far away, why the connection had to be so clear yet so inaccessible right now. And God is listening and God is preparing a way, but your faith must complete the circuit for the miracle to manifest fully. Your soulmate is holding on to a piece of evidence from your test, a word you said, an action you took, a moment you were real. They replay it when the interference tries to convince them that your honesty was a fluke or a performance. They replay it and they feel their love for you surge back stronger than the lies trying to drown it out. Jesus says you are more connected to your soulmate right now than you have ever been, and the spiritual bond is intensifying by the hour. They are sensing your emotions from a distance and you are sensing theirs, and this is not imagination, this is the soul speaking. They felt your hope today and it lifted them out of a dark spiral they had been fighting since yesterday morning. You are already spiritually bonded and meant to be together, and nothing in this world can change that eternal truth. The only question is whether you will align your actions with the divine plan or let hesitation steal what heaven has ordained. And your soulmate is waiting on your side of the spiritual equation to activate the final phase of your reunion. They are falling in love with you deeper every single day, and your honesty has become the oxygen they breathe in a suffocating situation. They are falling in love with your integrity, with your consistency, with the way you exist in the world without masks. And they are terrified and thrilled and completely certain that you are the one they have been waiting for their whole life. Type 777 if you feel this message and your spirit is burning with recognition right now. Jesus says the interference in your connection is a person who has access to your soulmate's daily life and emotional state. They use guilt and obligation as weapons, and they have convinced your soulmate that leaving would be a betrayal of duty. But the truth is that this person is terrified of losing control, and they will say anything to keep your soulmate trapped in their web. Your soulmate is not weak, they are compassionate, and their compassion is being weaponized against them by someone who hates your connection. They are being told that chasing you is selfish, that their happiness does not matter, that your love is a distraction from their responsibilities. And every time they hear these lies, a piece of their spirit dies, and they cry out for you silently in their soul. You must understand the spiritual dynamic at play, because your soulmate is under an attack that targets their mind specifically. The enemy is amplifying their fears, magnifying their doubts, and using the voice of someone they trust to inject poison into their perception. And your role right now is to counteract that poison with prayer and with the sacrificial seed that activates divine intervention. Jesus says your soulmate is closer to breaking free than they have ever been, and the final push will come from your faith. They have one hand reaching toward you and one hand still bound by the chains of manipulation and control. And your seed, your coffee offering, your declaration of faith will be the sword that severs those chains once and for all. Sow your protection seed now and write "Protect my soulmate, Lord" on the Ko-Fi page, because this is the act that shifts the spiritual atmosphere. Send 4 coffees to break the 4 walls of the prison your soulmate is trapped inside. Send 6 coffees to confront the interference that has been delaying your connection for too long. Send 10 or more coffees to unleash the full force of heaven's army on behalf of your love story and your future together. The link is in the description, and your breakthrough is waiting for your obedience right now in this sacred moment. Your soulmate's tears will turn to tears of joy when they finally see that you fought for them when they could not fight for themselves. Jesus says your soulmate just had a dream about you last night that was so vivid they woke up reaching for you in the dark. In the dream you were standing in a field of light and you were holding out your hand to them with no fear in your eyes. And they ran to you, but just before they could touch your fingers they woke up and the emptiness of their room felt like a tomb. They laid in bed for an hour after that dream, unable to move, unable to stop the tears from soaking their pillow. They were not crying from sadness alone, they were crying from the intensity of a love that has no physical outlet yet. They were crying because the dream confirmed what their spirit already knows: you are their home and they are homeless without you. This dream was not a random firing of neurons, it was a divine message sent to strengthen your soulmate for the battle ahead. God allowed them to see you in the spirit realm so they would have the courage to continue resisting the interference in the natural realm. And now they are holding on to that dream like a promise, and they are waiting for you to do something that shows you received the same message. Jesus says your soulmate is obsessively replaying the evidence of your honesty like a detective solving the most important case of their life. They are gathering every memory, every interaction, every moment that revealed the truth of your character. And they are building a fortress of evidence that no one, not even the person interfering, can breach or destroy. They are thinking about you right now while you hear these words, and their heart is beating faster as the connection intensifies. They feel something shifting in the atmosphere, and they do not know what you are doing, but they know it involves them. They know you are praying, they know you are acting, they know you are fighting for this love, and their tears are flowing again. Your soulmate is not the problem is the force that wants to keep them from experiencing the fullness of your love. And that force is afraid of you right now because you are waking up to your spiritual authority over this situation. Your soulmate needs you to be strong when they are weak, to believe when they doubt, to act when they are paralyzed by fear. Type 1111 to say thank you to Jesus for revealing this hidden truth about your soulmate and your connection. Jesus says the person interfering with your connection has noticed that your soulmate is pulling away from their control. They have escalated their tactics and are now using emotional blackmail to keep your soulmate bound to their expectations. They are telling your soulmate that choosing you would destroy everything they have built and that the cost is too high to pay. But your soulmate knows deep in their spirit that the real cost is losing you, and that price is incalculable. They are beginning to see the interference for what it truly is: not love, not protection, but possession disguised as concern. And this revelation is breaking their heart because they realize they have been manipulated by someone who claimed to care for them. Your soulmate is trapped between two worlds: the world of obligation they have always known and the world of freedom you represent. And every day they spend in this limbo is a day of suffering that you have the power to shorten through your faith and your seed. You must act now while the window of opportunity is still open, because the interference is working to close it permanently. Jesus says your soulmate is falling in love with you more completely with every honest memory they revisit in their mind. They are falling in love with the way you spoke truth when it would have been easier to stay silent or compromise. They are falling in love with the consistency of your character, the stability of your soul, the safety of your presence. This love is not infatuation, it is recognition of a soul they have known since before time began. This love is eternal and it predates your earthly lives, and it will survive any attack that the enemy launches against it. But survival is not enough. You were not created to merely survive as separated souls, you were created to thrive together in union. The delay is dangerous not because your soulmate will stop loving you but because the interference could create circumstances that make reunion harder. Every day the enemy has access to your soulmate is a day he can plant seeds of despair, exhaustion, and hopelessness in their heart. And if those seeds take root, your soulmate might surrender to the pressure not because they want to but because they are too tired to fight. This is why your seed is critical right now. It is not about money, it is about the spiritual transaction that releases heaven's resources. When you sow specifically for your soulmate's protection, you are declaring war on the forces that are delaying your connection. You are telling the enemy that you will not stand by while someone you love suffers, and that declaration has immense power in the spirit realm. Sow your protection seed now by sending a coffee on Ko-Fi and write "Protect My Soulmate Lord" on the page after sending. The link to your divine action is in the description, and your soulmate is waiting for the breakthrough that your faith will release. Over 1,000 souls have already received their soulmate by sowing coffee as a seed, and Jesus will honor your obedience with miraculous intervention. Send 4, 6, or 10 or more coffees now, because every number is a prophetic decree over your connection and your future. Do not let this moment pass. Do not let the video end without taking the step that could change everything. Your soulmate is crying out for you in the spirit, and your faith is the answer to their unspoken prayer. Jesus says your soulmate secretly tested your honesty, and you passed with a purity that still makes them tremble when they think about it. They have never met anyone like you, and the fact that you exist has restored their hope in love itself. And now they are counting the moments until they can finally look you in the eyes and say thank you for being real. They are preparing themselves to meet you, and the preparation is painful because it involves breaking free from everything that has held them captive. They are cutting cords and confronting controllers, and they are doing it because your honesty gave them the courage to demand truth in every area of their life. You have already changed them without even touching them, and that is the mark of a divine soulmate connection. The tears they shed when they discovered your honesty are now drying and being replaced by a fierce determination to reach you. They are no longer just crying, they are planning, they are praying, they are positioning themselves for the moment of your reunion. And you must match their determination with your own by sowing your seed and activating your faith in tangible, obedient action. Jesus says the final obstacle between you and your soulmate is the spiritual blockage that your seed will shatter into pieces. The enemy has placed a lock on the door that separates you, and the key is forged in the fire of sacrificial faith. Your coffee offering is that key, and when you turn it in the lock, the door will swing open and nothing will hold your soulmate back. Your soulmate is so close to freedom right now, they can taste it, and they are waiting for the final push from your side of the bond. They have done everything they can in the natural realm, and now the battle has moved to the spiritual realm, where your seed speaks louder than words. Act now while heaven is watching and the angels are ready to move on your behalf. The person interfering with your connection is about to lose their power over your soulmate, and they know it. They are panicking because they see the light in your soulmate's eyes that was never there before you entered the picture. And they are making their final desperate moves to sabotage what God has ordained, but your faith is stronger than their schemes. Jesus says your soulmate is dreaming about you again tonight, and this time the dream will be a dream of reunion. They will see your face, and this time they will touch your hand, and the dream will feel more real than their waking life. And when they wake up they will know that the breakthrough is close, and they will weep tears of joy because the wait is almost over. Your soulmate loves you with a love that has been tested by fire and refined by suffering, and it is pure gold in the eyes of heaven. They are not perfect, but their love for you is as perfect as human love can be, and it is growing stronger every single moment. They are yours and you are theirs, and the only thing left is for you to claim this connection through your faith and your actions. Do not let fear stop you from sowing your protection seed, because fear is the enemy's last weapon against your obedience. The link is in the description, and the time to act is now before this video ends and the moment of divine opportunity passes. Sow 4, 6, or 10 or more coffees. Write "Protect my soulmate, Lord," and watch as Jesus moves mountains to bring your love home. Type 333 if you are ready to fight for your soulmate with every resource heaven has given you. Jesus says your soulmate just whispered your name into the silence of their empty room, and the sound of it made them cry again. They whispered it like a prayer, like a plea, like a promise that they are still holding on to despite every force trying to tear it away. And in the spiritual realm, that whisper reached the throne of God, and Jesus himself interceded for your connection in that very moment. You are not alone in this battle. Heaven is fighting for you, and the angels are warring on your behalf right now. But your participation is required, because God will not override your free will even to bring you your soulmate. You must choose, you must declare, you must sow, and when you do, the full resources of the kingdom are released to complete your union. Your soulmate's tears are a sacrifice on the altar of your future together, and God has collected every single one in a bottle. He has recorded their suffering and their longing and their secret test and their discovery of your honesty. And He is preparing a reward for their faithfulness, and you are part of that reward, and this love story will be a testimony to His glory. Jesus says the delay ends when your faith speaks louder than your doubts and your actions align with your desires. Your soulmate has done their part. They have tested and they have wept, and they have chosen you over and over in the silence of their heart. Now it is your turn to do your part by sowing the seed that protects them and your future and seals this connection in divine covenant. Send your coffee on Ko-Fi right now. Write "Protect my soulmate, Lord," and declare that nothing will stand between you and the love God has ordained. The link is in the description, and this is the moment where your love story shifts from waiting to receiving. Your soulmate is ready, heaven is ready, the angels are ready. Now it is your move. Type 777 if your spirit is on fire with the truth of this message and you are claiming your soulmate right now. Jesus says there is a sound in the spirit realm right now that sounds like chains breaking and doors opening. That sound is the result of your soulmate's prayers combining with your faith to create a spiritual earthquake that is shaking the foundations of the interference. The person blocking your connection cannot withstand this force because it does not originate from you alone, it originates from heaven itself. Your soulmate feels the chains loosening right now, and they do not understand what is happening, but they feel lighter suddenly. They feel a surge of hope that has no earthly explanation, and they are sitting up straighter and breathing deeper. They are sensing that you did something, that you prayed something, that you sowed something, and their tears are turning into laughter. This is the power of your connection. When one acts in faith, both are affected instantly across any distance. You and your soulmate are one spirit, and what touches one touches the other, and your obedience just reached across the miles and comforted a heart you have never held. Continue in this power, continue in this faith, continue to sow and pray and declare until the reunion is fully manifest. Jesus says your soulmate is going to read a message from you soon or see a sign that confirms everything this word has spoken. They will know that you are the one because the Holy Spirit will bear witness in their spirit with a certainty that cannot be shaken. And when that confirmation comes, they will weep again, but this time it will be weeping of joy uncontainable and pure. You are about to enter a season of love that exceeds anything you have ever experienced or imagined possible. Your soulmate is everything you have been praying for and more, and the wait will make the embrace infinitely sweeter. Protect this promise with your faith and your obedience, and do not let the enemy steal what Jesus died to secure for you. Type 1111 one final time to seal this word and lock in the blessings that have been spoken over your connection today. Jesus says your soulmate secretly tested your honesty and you passed, and that test was the final requirement for your union to be released. They broke down in tears when they found out that you were real, and those tears have watered the soil of your future together. Now go sow your seed, send your coffee, write your declaration, and watch as God moves heaven and earth to bring your soulmate into your arms. The link is in the description. Your soulmate is waiting, your breakthrough is here, and your love story is being written in real time by the hand of God. Do not skip this moment, for this moment is the answer to prayers you prayed in the dark when you thought no one was listening. Jesus was listening, your soulmate was searching, and you have been found faithful, and your reward is love eternal and true.